I want to welcome in Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. She's also a veteran as we continue to look at and analyze this video of the Russian fighter jet dumping fuel and clipping a U.S. drone on Tuesday. The drone then forced to crash into the Black Sea. So here's the video. We got this right about 5:45 a.m. Eastern time this morning. Senator, great to see you. Thank you for being with us. If you haven't seen the video, we'll continue to play it, but want to get your reaction to what we're seeing.
Well, this is horribly aggressive action on the part of Russia in international airspace. And we need to have a very firm message back to Vladimir Putin and the Russians that this is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, so a U.S. drone is taken out by a Russian fighter jet. President Xi Jinping of China, his global influence continuing to increase. He is going to meet in Moscow next week for a face-to-face with Vladimir Putin. Then he's scheduled to have a virtual call with our friend, President Zelensky in Ukraine. What do you make of President Xi playing peacemaker in Ukraine and throughout the world?
Well, when there is a void when it comes to leadership, others will find a way to fill that gap. And what we have seen exhibited by this administration and specifically President Joe Biden is a lack of leadership on the global stage. America used to be that great convener, bringing countries together and seeking peace. But President Biden has been unable to lead with strength and bring other countries along with him on many different endeavors. I'm a firm believer that the United States should be a global leader. It doesn't mean we have to do everything and engage in everything, but when we lead, other nations do follow. So I would encourage this administration to be very firm, be very strong, and let's get back to where we need to be around the world, and that is a leader.
Okay, Senator, let me play you the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, yesterday, and I want to get your reaction to this response from the administration. Take a listen.
As far as an act of war goes, I'm not going to go there. Incidents happen, and clearly we do not seek armed conflict with Russia, and I believe that at this point we should investigate this incident and move on from there. But we will continue to exercise our rights in international airspace.
Senator, what's your take? Do you agree? If this is not an act of war, I don't know what is. The Russians took out a $32 million U.S. drone, and that's our response.
Yeah, very, very careless on the part of the Russians if it was just an incident. This was unprovoked. We have every right to be in that airspace. And the Russians, it does sound like from authorities that this had been going on for quite a while, half an hour, 45 minutes of persistence from that fighter jet, Russian fighter jet. And so the Russians knew exactly what they were doing. They were trailing this drone. They were obviously trying to take it down, and they succeeded in doing that with their recklessness. But certainly it is a very, very expensive piece of military hardware that we have that is now gone, that the Russians are now looking for. So while I don't know that I would categorize it as an act of war, I think it is absolutely unprovoked aggression coming from the Russians, and we need to be firm in our response.
You're absolutely correct. Your colleague, Senator Marsha Blackburn, just on with us a moment ago, says there's probably more video that was not released. And to that point, this week is Sunshine Week in Washington, which basically is a celebration of transparency and openness in the government, something we haven't had a lot of over the last couple of years. Tell us about this week.
Right. Thanks so much, Rob. And yes, it is Sunshine Week. And so I always promote this with my constituents back in Iowa. It's so important that Americans understand the inner workings of our federal government and have access to see how much those programs are costing and exactly what the benefit to our taxpayers would be with certain programs. So I do have a number of different bills that I'm promoting, one of which is the COST Act, which would put a price tag on every government project that would be accessible by our constituencies. We need more transparency in federal government.
Agree with you, Senator. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll keep a close eye on Iowa, by the way. Been very busy. The former president was just there. Ron DeSantis was there on Monday. Everybody is going to Iowa. Senator Joni Ernst, thank you.